Good morning, everyone. This is Bernd Christian Giels coming to you once again on what I hope will soon be your favorite YouTube channel. Today is Thursday, July 2nd, 2020, and I am your host of my channel, Bernd Christian Giels. Like I said, Bernd is a name given to me by my German grandfather. Christian is a family name, and my last name, Giels, is a Dutch name that in the country of the Netherlands is pronounced Geels, as if you were clearing your throat of a big wad of phlegm. So, good morning, and thank you for coming and watching yet another one of my videos. Today, I decided to offer a different vista for all of you, my faithful viewers. I am in Nickerson State Park here on Cape Cod, and behind me is a beautiful scene filled with water and trees and clouds. So it's a great little scene, great little backdrop to speak to you today. So today, I am continuing my sub-series on my top influencers. Now, yesterday in my episode, I talked about Dr. Pamela Colorado of the Worldwide Indigenous Science Network. I was a student of Dr. Colorado a number of years ago and completed a master's degree program in something called Indigenous Science. If you would like to learn more about what Indigenous Science is and my experience of that program, I welcome you to watch the previous episode, episode 7, which I published to my channel yesterday. I will also be expounding upon things that I shared in that video in future installments on my channel. So please stay tuned as I continue to build out content on this channel. Now, today, I am again talking about my top influencers, and today I have the second one in my list of top influencers. So after Dr. Pamela Colorado comes a man who sadly has left this world some years ago, who left an indelible mark on comedy and humor, both in the United States of America and throughout the world. I'm talking about none other than Robin Williams. Now, for you younger viewers, if I have any of you yet, Robin Williams was a master entertainer and an amazing comedian. And I salute him in this video, in this installment, because as I've noted in my original video, the purpose of my channel is to inspire, educate, and entertain all those who come to my channel. So throughout my content, as I continue to share more, you will see me seeking to inspire, educate, and entertain you. And when I think of entertainment, I can think of no person more suited to honor and to recognize as my top influencer, one of my top influencers in my top 10 list. None other than Robin Williams could be a remote possibility in my mind. Robin Williams was a comedic genius. He was able to make people laugh. He was a man that, in my opinion, was very able to go beyond his ego, beyond his own personhood, and become any number of hilarious, heartwarming, funny characters. And it was only this morning that I actually decided that today should be the day that I would make this video, because I saw this commercial on the television this morning before I left to come here, and I immediately was rewriting the commercial in my mind to make it humorous. And as I did that, I immediately thought of Robin Williams, because what I was thinking was, this is something Robin would do. He would appreciate something this silly. And so the commercial I watched this morning was talking about skincare products and moisturizing. I've seen the commercial many times. I don't remember the name of the product, and I'm not here to promote the product. That's not the point of this. But there's this one scene where this woman is extolling the virtues of the moisturizer, and she's saying she's a fabulous 70-year-old woman who has great skin now, something to that effect. And as I watched it, I did a rewrite in my brain, and what I came up with was, I'm a sensational, vivacious 70-year-old woman because I was able to find this lovely moisturizer, and whenever I place it on my body, I am as moisturized and as voluptuous as a lovely grapefruit kissed by morning dew on a beautiful, calm, still morning in July in the South, where grapefruit and watermelons grow so easily. So, when I heard that, that's immediately what came to my mind. And I thought, you know, this is the day that I'm going to talk about Robin Williams. So here I am. So this is going to be a bit of a free-form video, and it's not going to be as long as yesterday's very informative video. This is just more about humor and entertainment today. So my memories of Robin Williams started when I was a kid. Back in the day, one of the first things that Robin Williams appeared in that got him very well known was Mork and Mindy. And I don't even remember what years the show was on. I know it was when I was a kid. But Robin Williams played Mork, this alien who had come to Earth, and I think his best friend, or his co-conspirator, his best friend was Mindy. And basically the plot of the show was Mork living on Earth, passing as a human, and trying to understand human beings and how we lived on this planet. And even though I've been around a while now, I still don't understand how some humans live on this planet. It's pretty amazing how some people manage to live on this planet on a day-to-day basis. And we're seeing a lot of fascinating things right now because, as everyone knows, we are going through a catastrophic, dark era with a pandemic going on that I wish, when my grandparents had been alive, my grandparents who grew up in the United States of America, I wish I had learned stories from them about their experience in 1918. They were only kids then themselves, but never in the time that they were still alive did I ever ask to have them tell me stories about when they were kids and what that experience was like. Now, they both lived in Arkansas, and I could read a book, obviously, about the pandemic then and see how it was impacting different states. And I wouldn't be surprised if that pandemic was impacting different states similar to the way the one we are having now is impacting our states. Anyway, going off on a little bit of a tangent there, my point is that Robin was a great, great entertainer, and I remember him vividly from when he first started the show Mork and Mindy. He had kind of a contagious enthusiasm about him. When he would be in a show, it was just like everyone else would just lighten and lighten and lighten. And whatever burden or load of hardship they were carrying was immediately lifted. He was such a glowing, beautiful person. And when he died, it really struck me very hard because he had such an impact on so many people. And I remember actually writing a posting on the blog that I was writing at the time, in which I basically was mourning aloud in writing the passing of this great comedian. So, and obviously it wasn't just that show. He also did stand-up. He did great, improvisational work. I've taken improv training myself, and it's a great liberating experience. So if one thing I can promote today in this episode is take an improvisational class. Go meet a group of people in whatever way we can right now with social distancing in place, and find some way to keep the arts and your enthusiasm alive in your own heart, because these days it is very difficult to be enthusiastic and hopeful. I get that. I've commented about this already in the short number of videos that I've made. So anyway, Robin was a great improvisational person. And it was that spontaneity, that ability to live in the present moment, be in the present moment, turn into something that just came to him as a way to entertain people. That was part of what made him so amazing, was his kinetic, spontaneous, joyful, playful energy. He was one of the most, I think, playful people that who were in the arts. And I admire that because playfulness playfulness is something that we all so much need. We all so much need in our lives to have something that brings us joy and humor. And especially now that's true. And I think there can be a misconception that playfulness and play is only the province of children. And that is not at all the case. Can you imagine as an adult if you had never had any fun, if you didn't play at all, if you didn't have racquetball to play with a friend, if you didn't go to the beach, if you didn't have a partner, if you didn't have someone to go to the movies with? And a lot of people are going through that right now because of the limitations that we are being asked to follow, the restrictions, so that we can stay healthy and get through this very difficult time. So, playfulness. Find some way in your life to play right now, to find joy these days. And if there's something that I have learned, which I learned recently, is that there is so much that so many of us can be grateful for. The problem is that a lot of times we take for granted what we have until the moment comes that we either lose it or we are faced with the very serious prospect of losing it. I will hint in this video and speak more in future videos about this, but I went through a very difficult time these last 12 months, and I'm finally now coming out of it. And that is partly what inspired me to start this channel, was as I came out of it, of what felt like a dark abyss, I realized I had so much more in my life that was good and wonderful and a source of joy than I really comprehended. And like I said, sometimes it is in those moments when we lose everything or face the probability of losing everything that we find how much we still have to be grateful for. And what I have seen in myself recently is that I have become a much more playful person. I take joy in things now that before were just not even a thought in my mind. And as an example, if you're wondering where Hercules is, and I'll tell you who he is for those who just tuned into this episode, Hercules is in my car, and he's chilling out on the dashboard, and he's holding the little parking receipt so I can prove that I've paid to get into Nickerson Park here. So he's chilling out in the car, he's enjoying the sunshine, and he's just sitting there with the proof of payment. So that's where he wants to be today, and he will certainly join me in future episodes. He is my confidant and co-pilot and gives me some wonderful ideas when I fall asleep at night, and he whispers into my subconscious to provide me ideas that will make me a fool of myself on YouTube. But like I already said recently in a video, I am very happy to be like a fool if it brings pleasure to other people. So anyway, Robin Williams. He was so amazing. And one of my favorite movies that he was in was, maybe you can guess it, Mrs. Doubtfire. And for those of you who haven't seen it, go see this movie. Watch it on DVD, whatever. Find it on YouTube, the little clips of it, which I'm sure are out there. It was one of the more recent pieces of artwork that he did in his career. I think it was made in the late 90s. I might be wrong about that. But anyway, for those of you who are younger viewers who have never seen it, the plot synopsis is this. Robin Williams plays a father of three. He's married. He was married. His former wife is played by Sally Fields. And they basically break up their relationship because they've grown apart, and she felt that he just wasn't a sufficiently responsible person. And so, out of a deep need to be able to see his children in the face of the restrictions placed on him after a court hearing, and actually prior to, but all, due to his wife, he invents a way to stay close to them in a surreptitious way. So he creates a character whose name is Mrs. Doubtfire, and he actually gets Doubtfire from a newspaper article where the headline has Doubtfire as part of the title. So he invents this wonderful character, this woman who's, reaching her later years, and she's fairly buxom, and she's got eyeglasses and lovely hair that it takes him a while to concoct with his friends. And he gets a job working as like a caregiver, nanny, mentor to his three children in disguise. And so the whole plot of the movie is him attempting to navigate these two different identities. His identity when he's not in costume and living his life and actually becoming more responsible and getting an apartment, and this alter identity where he is doing this incredible thing to be able to be close to his children, something that a lot of people would not do because they'd be afraid of getting caught or worse. So I loved the movie because it showed Robin Williams in his exuberance. It showed him just unrestrained. And like one of my favorite scenes, not to be a buzzkill and give away spoilers here for those who haven't seen it, one of my favorite scenes is where he's in costume as Mrs. Doubtfire. He's cooking in the kitchen and he reaches over the stove and then he starts smelling something burning and his fake breasts have caught on fire. And he frantically tries to put out the fire by pounding on his chest with the tops of pots and pans. So Robin Williams was just a comedic genius. He could make you laugh, I think, so easily. And that is why I wanted to salute him today. It's because he is so amazing at his art. He was an artist. And we need the arts in our lives. No matter what any school district or museum might have to decide about budgets, and I get it, it's hard these days. And it's hard to be an artist a lot, even when you're not going through the year 2020. But Robin really showed, I think, the power of laughter, the medicine to be found in laughter. And as I said yesterday in episode 7, humor really is an important part of our lives. We need laughter, we need humor, we need play, we need lightheartedness, we need joy, we need delight, we need unexpected blessings that come in a day that just put a little bit of a lift in your step. And as I was saying earlier when I was talking about, what it is that I'm grateful for and what I went through recently, there was an image that came to my mind one day that I'll share, and it was just like, even if you're homeless and you have a coffee mug and that's all you have is you're homeless and you have like one set of clothes, one outfit that you wear every day. Even if you're homeless and you have only the clothes on your back and you have a coffee mug to your name, you still have more than a lot of people. If you're an adult, you've had the years that you've lived. There are children that are dying right now throughout the world from any number of horrible, senseless, incomprehensible things that cause many people to wonder, why do children suffer that way? So, if you make it this far, if you've made it even to being an adult, that is something that a lot of people don't even see. And I recognize how hard it can be to make it to that point and how hard it can be to find joy in each day. I have gone through a lot in my own life. I will say for now that in the first 10 years of my life when I was a kid, I nearly lost both of my parents, one to illness and another to violence. So I know from very personal, difficult experience that saying, well, if you made it to be an adult, that in itself is a blessing. I know that could sound kind of Pollyanna or maybe not insensitive, but just like a little bit clueless, or how dare you say something like that? You don't know my life. My life's been really hard. Why should I keep living? I get that. I get that life can be very hard and that it's hard sometimes to find the blessings in the day. But here I am coming to you, complete strangers, people that I've never met are probably going to watch this today. And I welcome you to keep watching and to become my online friend and viewer. I am enjoying an amazingly beautiful day. There are beautiful white clouds in the sky, and there are beautiful trees behind me, and there is a lovely body of water behind me. And I am sitting in a state park that is open, that is being visited by other human beings who came here for their own recreation and fun. This alone, this moment in my day today, is in itself a great blessing and more than enough reason for me to wake up tomorrow and continue to create a better and better life for myself. So, the bottom line I'm saying is that do what you need to do to find joy in each day, as long as doing whatever you do doesn't endanger you or endanger other people, including strangers. And on that note, that's why I will further say it is so vital, I believe, that we take this current moment in our nation and in the world seriously. This is not a common moment to be going through something like a pandemic. It's very challenging for people, even the best of us, the doctors, the nurses that are working every day, sometimes for 12, 16 hours. It is a hard time. And so we need joy, we need laughter, we need playfulness, we need all of that. And that is partly why today I wanted to salute the great Robin Williams, who was a stellar comedian and actor whose memory lives in my heart and who I hope will always be remembered as a great comedic actor. And so, in closing today, I'm going to re-perform that beautiful little ditty I did earlier, in which I was imitating the vivacious woman in the commercial, to give you one last laugh. So here it is. My skin is so amazing. I'm a vivacious, lovely, moisturized, 70-year-old woman who has fantastic skin. I can pass for 55. I'm so amazing. And it's all because I took this every day. And my skin is so moisturized, it's like a grapefruit being picked in a dewy meadow on a beautiful July morning somewhere in Louisiana, or Mississippi, or Arkansas, or Alabama. It's a beautiful morning, and my skin is so voluptuous. I feel so amazing. There is nothing wrong with the world when I feel like this. So, anyway, lastly, truly lastly, floss like a boss, man. Floss like a boss. Take care of your teeth. The reason you should take care of your teeth is especially something to think about right now, because a lot of dental practices are not operating typical hours and they're not doing a lot of procedures. I myself am waiting and waiting and waiting to get a dental cleaning because my clinic has canceled and canceled and canceled and pushed back. Now, I get it. Dentists need to protect themselves as well. Dental hygienists, the people in their front offices, all of those folks, they want to protect themselves. I get it. And so while we're going through this, think about your teeth. Be good to your teeth and be good to you. And be good to those around you. So, on that note, big smile. This is Bernd Christian Giels signing off. I'll see you soon. Cheers, everyone.